Howdy. Good afternoon. How are you doing, man? It's the G1 Project again, live. Wow. 2 days in a row, ain't that right? Yeah, 2 days in a row. Oh, excuse me. So I'm trying to get this where you can see it the best. This is the EVH Fakie, all right? And I did a 3-part video series about this guitar. It's from AliExpress. And I put a Mighty Mite neck on it. I swapped out the original neck and put this Mighty Mite neck on. The only thing is that I don't like is it's a little tall right here. You know, coming off the locking nut, it's a little tall, and I mean it's okay. The action's a little high. You can only adjust it so much, and you know, I can only lower the action so much, and it starts having dead notes up here. So I had to raise it a little bit, and I was like, man, you know what? I think I'm going to put the original neck back on it, because I did put a new locking nut on it too. So while I'm doing this, I got my work clothes on, so I got to go to work soon. So while I'm doing this, I'm going to get on the stream as well on this tablet here, and so I can see the chat in case the people want to comment. So let's see if I can log in or watch from this tablet so I can see what's going on. Oh my gosh, Lord of mercy, I tell you. I don't know if I can do it or not. Let's see. Let's see, are we live? There we go. It shows I'm live right there. Oh, there we go. Andrew Knox, what's up, man? And Brian Hudson. Hey, Joe. Always good to catch you live. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. I can see the chat now. I mean, I can see it on the phone, but, man, I don't know what YouTube has done. They've made the font real small, and it, like, blends in with the picture, so it's really hard to read unless you're right up on it, and it's really hard to do. Andrew Knox says, tech time with Joe on the go, Joe on the flow. Yeah, man. I don't know about, I'm no guitar tech whatsoever, but let me see, let me fix, I'm glad I got this tablet. Brian Hudson says, I've watched the other videos you did, but what all did you change out again? Thanks again, and keep on rocking. You mean on this particular guitar, Brian? I'm gonna try to set this right here. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it'll work sitting right there. Yes, he goes. Okay, on this right here, again, I got this from AliExpress, and thanks to you know, again, a big shout out to Andrew Knox for leading me in the right direction on what seller to go to and what to get. And I didn't change out any electronics. I thought the electronics were great. I mean, the pickup was hot enough for what I liked. I did change out the Floyd. That's a Godot Floyd right there. The original Floyd, I think they call it a Floyd Rose 2 or something. I'd never heard of that until Andrew told me about it. I guess they were some kind of Floyds they had back in the day. I don't know, you know. But anyway, and I swapped out the original neck, which is right here. This is the original neck that came with it, and I put a new locking nut on it. That's a Floyd R2 locking nut, and this neck is really good, man. I mean, I had, when I got the guitar and I played it before doing anything to it, it was great. You know, I was just wanting a neck with 22 frets, but this one is kind of, you have to understand, this thing was made overseas. It wasn't made from the, you know, the factory that produces the EVH bodies and products. So things are going to be a little off, you know, and I think this particular neck, the Mighty Mite neck, it just, I mean, it fits down in there fine, but it's just a little bit chunky. The neck's a little bit chunky, and because I have the same neck, you can barely see it right here. That's a Mighty Mite neck on that Fender Player Strat, and it's fine. There's no issue whatsoever. You know, so it's just the way it goes. And so, but I'm going to swap out, I'm going to put the original neck back on it, and a neck plate. I got another neck plate too. Check out this neck plate. This is the No Bozos, and it's kind of got a gold shine to it. It's a No Bozo. so we're going to put that on as well. The neck plate that's on here is fine. It's just, and it kind of looks relic and all, but I thought that'd be a cool addition to it. Let me see. I still gotta pick this up and look at it. Brian Hudson comments, I think it looks cool. 24 fret. Goto fits perfectly, or did you have to route? No, not 24 fret. Did I say 24? I was wanting a neck with 22 frets. And the original neck only has 21 frets. So we're going to put the original neck back on it because it played great out of the box when I got it. There was no issue whatsoever. I just wanted to put another neck on it that had 22 frets, you see. Did I have to route anything for the Goto Floyd? No, sir, I did not. No, it was, it dropped right in there and lined right up. So, yeah. Andrew Knox says, my Epiphone Explorer was made in China. One of the best guitars I own. I didn't know it was made in China. That's cool. Charlie S. How you doing, man? Charlie S. has always been a supporter of the channel for years, man. Thank you very much, Charlie, for always hopping in and saying hello. Brian Hudson says, heck yeah, No Bozos. Yeah, it's a cool neck plate, man. I ordered this before Christmas, and I kept telling myself, you know, I'm just going to wait until when it's time to swap something out on this guitar, and I'll put it on. So, all right, we got to get busy. So what I'm going to do, I know it's hard to, I can't get this camera no lower. It's on a tripod, of course. So what we're going to do first is we got to take these locking screws off, and these locking screws, I'll show them to you if I can. I got them from Amazon, and they're titanium. All right, look there. It's hard to. I had them things locked down there, boy. But that's the good thing about getting locking screws like this, man, because you can tighten them down with all the torque in the world that you have, and it won't strip, you know. So we got to take these locking screws off first. And because we got to take the strings off and all that good stuff, you know. It's nasty outside, man. It's raining. It's not cold. I mean, it's a little chilly, but it's okay. All right, see, check out. I don't know how good you're gonna be able to see this, but that's the gold titanium locking nut. Amazon, man. It was, I think it was like I don't know, $19 for a set of 3, I think. So we're gonna put those to the side. And hey, Paulie, what's going on? Man, I didn't catch that last name until right before Christmas. I didn't catch that last name. I was like, why does he put that for his last name? And then, believe it or not, I started watching The Sopranos for the first time before Christmas. And I put one and one together on that. I was like, what? I was like, what's he doing? So I get it. This is a Ernie Ball Power Peg Pro. It's great for string winding, and it saves you a lot of time. So we're going to loosen these up a little bit. And then we're going to cut them, and I also got this Allen tool. Believe it or not, man, I got it from Effutone. And it's great, man. You can use the shorter end to lock down the upper part of your locking nut, and the longer end when you're doing the long bolts down here, right? Which that's what we're getting ready to do now. So we got to get ready to do that and get everything together. And you want to make sure when you loosen these, you don't want to turn your guitar over or nothing like that, because these little saddle block inserts, they'll fall out. So after I loosen one and take the string out, I'm going to tighten it back up just to keep it snug. Because you don't want to lose those saddle inserts, man. With my luck, the way that works, I won't be able to find it because they're so small. So we're just going to do this one at a time here, and we're going to take these strings out just like that. And then we're going to take these strings completely off. See what I'm saying? And it, you know, I mean, this guitar played fine with this neck, but I just didn't like the way that it was kind of tall up there up top. You know, it was just, I don't know. You know, hey, have that gut instinct, like you're kind of like, I don't know, man. It just doesn't feel right. You know, it kind of does. It's in the ballpark, but it's not. You know. So what I did is I loosened these right here, and you can see I just took the strings out, but I tightened them back up. I'm gonna go ahead and raise my fine tuners a little bit too, because you'll need to do that. Let's see. I got my tablet here. I'm looking at the chat because there's no way I can read it off there. Hell, I can even. I've got to get an eye exam, man. Paulie Walnut says, "Laugh out loud." Yeah, talking about the Sopranos reference. That was slick, man. I didn't get that for the longest time. I thought he was just being a smartass. I didn't know what he was doing, but I get it now. Andrew Knox says, "When I lived in New Jersey, I was 10 minutes from Tony Soprano's house." How awesome is that? That's awesome. Paulie, he says, I lived in the area where Tony's disposal business was. Lived in New Jersey for a while. Nice, man. R2, what's going on? What's happening, man? We're swapping these necks out, brother. And yeah, so all right, we got these strings. We got I think I got locking tuners on the back of this. I do. I have locking tuners on the back. So, which I know some people are like, well, that's just pointless. I just always liked it. Just in case something wants to get loose up here or something like that. You know, I don't know. You got a backup. I don't know. That's just how I always thought. Maybe it's stupid. I don't know. Maybe it makes no sense. So we're going to try to take these off and get rid of these. That's why it's good to loosen them at the Floyd Rose, man. So you just have one string to contend with. You don't have. I used to cut them in half, but then you got more stuff to deal with. So if you can, just do it. You know, take them loose at the bottom of the Floyd. It just makes it easier. It makes it easier on you. And it's easier to get rid of, I guess, too. So this is going to take a few minutes. So let me get rid of that. And I brought my little practice amp, little Black Star, the Fly. So when we get stuff hooked up, I can just hook up and just kind of make some quick adjustments, you know, when I need to. I don't have to hook up to a major amp or something, you know, something big. There ain't no sense in doing that. There we go. We're getting there. This is live, folks, so yeah. Man, I've swapped out necks and stuff on guitars, and you know, I just, even when nothing was wrong, I just swapped them out just to see the difference, you know, if there would be a difference. This one wants to be aggravating here. There we go. That high E string want to be a little. That's why you keep a pair of needle nose with you, man, just to see there. Sometimes these strings get stubborn and they won't want to come loose. But all right, so now we got the strings completely off. Now it's time to take the I guess neck screws off. Is that correct? I guess that's right. Again, I got my tablet in front of me, so I'm trying to look at the chat. Y'all feel free to chat away. What is the weight of the guitar? Brian Hudson asked. I would say it's standard. It's probably, you know, about, I don't know, man. I'd say about maybe 8.5 pounds. You know, it's not real heavy. You know, it's just your standard weight. It's nothing like a Gibson weight or nothing like that. It's just your standard Strat weight. I'd say about 8.5. And what was that you said? What gauge strings do I use? I use gauge 9 to 42, Brian. I use Diodario's. I got them sitting right here, and gauge 9 to 42. I've always loved. I've been a Diodario string user for many years. I've used other brands, and they're, I mean, you know, when you get down to it, strings are strings, and some people like other brands more than different, you know, other ones. But Diodario for me has always just been great, and plus I love the colored ends. You know, just makes life easier, right? So we're going to take these neck screws off. That's what I'm doing here. See, I'll see if I can point it this direction so you can kind of see. I thought I was going to have to get the other drill out, that the actual power drill, because I had to when I first did this. But now that these necks have been, you know, used for a little while, I think it's going to be okay. And we're going to take these off here. And like I said, we're going to put in this new neck plate as well. I don't know why in the world this thing keeps dropping. There it is. I have to keep that in mind with this drill bit. It keeps wanting to pop out. I don't know why. There's that one. There you go. Okay. Okay. Here we go. So we're going to take this neck plate off. That's the neck plate. It's kind of relic. They just put some stuff on it to kind of make it look that way. I mean, it's a neck plate. So this should come right off. There you go. And they had a shim in this thing from the when I first got it. But I don't think we'll need to do that. If you have to shim it, if people don't know what shimming means, sometimes they'll put a thin piece of wood right here. So when you put the neck on, it kind of raises the neck up a little bit in the pocket. And usually, sometimes what I'll do, I'll use a thin pick and put right in the middle. That's worked, you know, because I don't have thin pieces of balsa wood or whatever they use. So I would use like a thin guitar pick, and it's worked plenty of time. So I don't think we'll need that here. Again, this is the original neck we're going to put back on. So nah, we're not going to need to shim that at all. That's actually it'll be fine. And when you screw it in, it'll grab a hold of that. It's top heavy. All right. So let's see if we can put the No Bozos neck plate on there. And we're going to try to get this started. This is always the tricky part here. It can be anyway. You want to just get them started a little bit. You don't want to put them all the way through just yet. Just kind of get it started. And the good thing is this neck's been on here before, so shouldn't be that big of a deal. There you go. And we'll do this one here. And come on now. There we go. We're getting there. We are getting there. Okay, now I've got them all about 3/4 of the way. All right. So now I want to make sure everything is good. Make sure it looks good from over this side. And we'll go ahead and take them on in. Believe me, it makes a difference. There's one. Damn, that's biting down like it's hitting some new wood or something. That's kind of weird. We'll check it. We'll check it. All right. That looks good. Looks all right. Feels all right. And there's the neck plate on there. The No Bozos neck plate. I don't know how good you can see it without that reflection. So all we got to do now is, this is the gold R2 locking nut. So I think I'm going to put those gold locking tuners on here. I think that would really set it off. So I'm just going to swap them out. Again, here's the old neck plate that was on here, and they just kind of, I don't know, they just probably sanded it or put some oil on it to make it kind of look relict. I mean, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Oh, they're talking about sopranos. Okay. Jimmy Biter, hey man. I got your email. Thank you to R2, R3 Locking Nut and Ryan from OU812 YouTube channel for communicating together. And Jimmy, I got your number in my phone. I'll send you a text or maybe call you later on if that's okay. If that's all right. I gotta hold this so I can read the chat. I'm sorry. Bozy, what's going on, man? You change your name all the time. Jimmy Biter says he's been using Stringjoy as of late. Great strings. Yeah, I see a lot of ads for that, man, on social media. They're putting some money in advertising, aren't they? Man. R2 says he's at work. Freezing rain this morning here in Chicago, and patients have been staying home. I don't blame them, man. Be careful, R2. Be careful. Yeah, Jimmy. Yeah, man. Thanks. Everybody's talking about the Sopranos and the filming locations, which is cool, man. I mean, like I said, I'm a very late bloomer to that show. But all right, so we're going to take these off here, and I'm going to just swap these locking screws out because I think it would just look really cool. I mean, it's kind of funny having a gold locking nut with a chrome Floyd, but who cares, man? The Bozo neck plate's gold, so, you know. I don't see the big deal, man. So we're going to get this. All we got to do now is string this up, and I might have to raise the action on the Floyd. I don't know yet, because it's a... usually when you swap out necks, you have to do that sometimes. So, but we will see. And that's not a big deal neither. You know, not a big deal. All right. We got that. I'm just moving these over here where everything is together and organized. Because usually when you get done doing stuff like this, man, you just have a big old mess in the floor, you know. I do anyway. All right. Where's the strings? Where'd my strings go? I just had them in my hand. There they are, right there. Yeah, that's what I like about Diodarios, man. They, cool deal. So, man, I've done this so many times, I don't have to look at the package, you know. All right. See, if I hadn't have tightened down those other bolts on the back of that Floyd, those little saddle inserts would have been all over the floor by now. Been all over the floor by now. All right, here we go. And there's no locking tuners on these. These are just the stock tuners that came with the neck. So what I'm doing now is I'm just lining these holes up here so I can string it up. Just makes life easier. All right. And what I like to do when I put strings on with a Floyd, a lot of people don't do this, and that's fine. I always put my strings on backwards, where the ball end is up here at the tuning peg. That way you don't have to worry about wrapping anything and trying to get it in there. You know, it pretty much is already secure. That's what they call the old school way, man, from the 80s, how they would put on strings, man. See there? You just put that there. Old school, man. Get it under that string tree there. And you want to cut, you don't want to cut too short. I always cut right about where the fine tuner is where I cut. And usually that's perfect. All right, throw that excess out of there. We don't need that. Again, I got this Allen screw, or whatever you want to call it, from Effutone, and now I'm going to use that long end right there to do what I need to do right here to get this string installed. You're going to tighten that down right there. Look at that. See there? Power Peg Pro. Save you from winding the string, man, you know, with your hand. Now I can already tell you, just by putting that low E string on there, look how it's touching the fretboard. Can you see that? You hear that buzzing? So I'm going to have to raise this a little bit. Going to have to raise the action some, because it's too low. Because this neck sits a little bit higher than the other, right? So we're going to have to raise that a little bit. I don't know if this will fit in there or not. Yep, it fits. And we'll do that. It's best to do it when you get your strings on, because there's no tension really, but we can adjust that as we go along, right? Let's see here. Polly says I do the same You do? Oh, okay. I hear you, man. All right. A string coming on next. All right. Oh, you're talking about the way you string it up? Yeah, that's a. Yeah, and then it's good to have it's good to have a pair of needle nose, man. So when you try to get under the string bar and get over the locking nut, just grab it with those needle nose, and it's so much. It just saves time, man. You know, and that's what you want. All right. So we're going to, like I said, we're going to cut right about the fine tuner here. Toss that. We don't need it. We're going to put this on. Insert and tighten down. There we go. Power Peg Pro. I love this thing, man. I've had this Power Peg Pro for a long time now. We might be all right because I raised up the action, you know, just a little bit. I don't know. We might have to go a tad more, but man, I love this thing, and it's rechargeable too. Amazon, or you can go to Guitar Center and spend, you know, $5 or $8 more on one. But moving right along. Now we got to put on the D string. Yes, sir. Moving right along here. Pop this on. Grab the needle nose pliers. Grab a hold of it there. Man, what you talking about? Look at that. I'll get the cutters and snip it. Yeah, all right. Tighten it down. There we go. Let's see here. We're getting there. See, I keep flicking the strings to see if I hear any buzzing, even though the strings aren't at full tension. You hear a little bit. You hear a little bit, not much. So if I have to raise the action on the Floyd, it's going to be very, very minimal. As you heard, before I did anything, the strings were riding on top of the neck. So that's not good, but that's okay. That's when you adjust things, it'll be fine. It's not a big deal, you know. And I didn't have to block off the Floyd or nothing like that because I've already got it set up. So, you know, when I first put it on, only 2 more after this one. 2 more after this one. I was going to use a wireless mic, but it's really, you know, I don't know how long the battery lasts in it. And when you try to play music through it, it sounds gargling underwater. So I didn't use a wireless mic, as you can tell by now. I think that's for the best. It's rechargeable, but hell, it probably would have died by now. I'll let you look at this when I get this string on right here. They say you want to get 3 good wraps on your tuning pegs, right? So that's what we look like so far. I got 2 more strings to go. We've already swapped out the neck. There's the No Bozo neck plate that I just put on. So 2 more, and then we'll tune it up, and we might have to make some fine adjustments maybe. I don't know. Let's see. Brian Hudson says, any plans to add a detuner to this one? No, sir. No, I don't. That's one thing I don't never use, man. even on my Wolfgang specials and Wolfgang, well, the standards don't have the detuner, but I never used it. I just, I mean, when I first got my very first Wolfgang special, I tried it out, and you know, those things have to be set up. The detuner, there's a way you have to set it up, and I never could figure it out. I watched a guy on YouTube one time supposedly show you how to do it, but like everybody else, he left out like a couple of major steps, and I never could figure it out. So every time I used the detuner, everything sounded horrible. It was, you know, because the balance was off. But no, I mean, I just never really used it. I just don't care to play in a drop tuning. All the stuff I like to play, as you know by now, 80s, 70s, and 80s, and 80s rock and hair metal, and I don't really do any drop tuning. I mean, Unchained is in drop D, but you can get away without doing that. That's what I do. You just, you know, I mean, can you tell a difference? Yeah, of course you can. I mean, the trained ear can tell a difference, but I just, you know, it never really served me any good, so I don't never use it. But no, I don't plan on putting one on to answer your question, sir. I don't plan on putting one on. A lot of people do, and that's all fine and dandy, but nah, I don't feel like doing it. That chat is moving, boy. I tell you, I like that. That's nice. All right. I didn't get that. You got to be careful, too, when you put these in the saddle inserts. Make sure it's in front of the saddle block, not kinked up beside it. That'll get you. That'll get you. That'll come back and get you if you're not careful. Happened to me plenty of times. When you wind your string, make sure it stays underneath the ball end of the string. Don't let it get on top or even on it itself. It'll mess with your tuning later down the road. Really no buzzing, that's good. Just slight. I'm sure we're going to have to raise it just ever so slightly. I'm sure we'll have to raise it ever so slightly. All right, putting on the last string here. There we go, and let's snip this here. As Barney Fife says, nip it, nip it, nip it. All right, there's that. All right, let's loosen this saddle insert here. And the thinner the strings get, the harder it is for me to see. I usually have one of those headband lights, you know, or a flashlight or something. It's just, I'm, you know, getting older, man. I think we got it. It looks right. Feels all right. All right, we're getting there, y'all. We're getting there. So that's one wrap right there. That's two. That's three. So there you go. So now we got all the strings on now. All right. So now we're going to check the action and make sure that there's no buzzing. You got to play your notes and make sure there's no dead spots. You know, there's a little buzzing there. You know, it's so close to it wants to deaden out. It's so close. So I'm going to raise it just a speck. And I hadn't even tuned the strings yet, you know, so we're going to just raise it just a speck. And I like to eyeball it. Usually you use like a little, there's a measuring thing you can use. No, I don't need that. I've always just eyeballed it. So we're going to try to tune it a little bit first and see if because that sometimes that helps a lot too. And I'm going to use a clip-on tuner for now because it's the fastest way to go. And if it still buzzes after we get it in pitch, see the buzzing's going away. That's a good sign. That's good. So this might take a few minutes. But it won't be as bad as you think. We want to get the D, there's D, and you got to go through this process a few times because it's new strings and they have to stretch. There's that. We gotta go to the high E. Now I gotta go through it again. See? It just has to find its balance, that's all. That one's good. That one's pretty good. That one's spot on. That one's spot on. So now what we need to do is put the locking screws back on. But I'm not going to tighten them down just yet. I just want to get them on here. Finger tighten them, you know, just ever so much. And hey, this might not be as bad as I thought. I mean, I knew it wouldn't be bad, but 21 frets, hey man, I can live with it if it's more comfortable up here at the upper end of the neck. All right, so that just sounds amazing just without even being plugged in. So what I'm doing is I'm checking for if any intonation needs to be done. Sounds good. So let's lock it down and we'll check the tuning again because I might have to adjust the fine tuners. And when I first lock these screws down, I don't do a lot of torque at the very beginning. So just a little bit right there. Now we're going to check the tuning again. That's a little off. That one. And there we go. So that's perfect. So now I'm going to use the short end. And we're going to tighten them down. And we should be good. Just a little here and there. There you go. So let's plug it up real quick. My wife's tried to call. I don't know what she's wanting, but she's tried to call. So we had an Amazon package supposed to be delivered here, and they delivered it to the wrong house. So she's wigging out. So let me turn this amp around to the phone. So now we're plugged in. We're good, man. We're good. All right, there we go. So we swapped out the necks and we're back in business. All right. All right, guys, I got to go. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, there's the Bozo neck plate on that. I got to roll. So it's back. All right. Thank you very much. Y'all have a wonderful day. I hope everybody stays safe. I can never do this with this new phone case. There we go. Okay. Have a good day, y'all. We'll see you later. All right. Bye-bye.